We all know that ecology is the study of the relationship between living organisms, including humans and their physical environment. Also, it includes the interaction among different organisms. While business can define as an organization or enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial, and professional activity. Ecology and business have their close relationship in terms of give and take and interaction activity inside the business environment. What is business environment? Business environment is a combination of internal and external factors that affects or influence the operation of the business.
Traditionally, business has seen the natural world as a free and an unlimited resource. However, companies would harm the environment to whatever amount was profitable, and they did it frequently despite the fact that it was necessary. Resources are not unlimited, and environmental damage can affect a large population and living things. The tragedy of the commons. It refers to a situation in which individuals having access to a shared resource causing an environmental damage in which individuals' self-interest can make everything worse. The spillover effect. In economics, the spillover occurs when something happens in one environment that causes something else to happen in a seemingly unrelated situation.
A company could argue that its contribution to the overall pollution problem makes no difference. As a result, it benefits from others' efforts to reduce pollution while riding for free by not making the same effort. Also, every human being has a right to a livable environment. Of course, a clean and free from the bad chemicals that can affect our environment, also an environment which have a pool of plants that can help us to reduce the natural disasters that we are facing right now. Let's do the 3 R's, which is reduce, reuse, recycle, plant a tree, don't send chemicals into our waterways, and lastly, let's bike more. The cost of pollution control. Cost-benefit analysis is required to determine the cost of pollution control, which is complex since it entails contentious factual assessments and value judgments.
Ecological economics, a new discipline which attempts to expand the boundaries of environmental cost-benefit analysis. It is becoming obvious that in the last decades, environmentalism under all its forms, ranging from conservation of ecosystem to sustainable development, it is gaining more and more influence upon our daily activities. The question is, who should pay for the cost? In my opinion, those responsible for causing pollution ought to pay. Because of them, the pollution started, and they are one who in charge of it. They should pay for what they did, not just using their money, but also using their own strength to restore and protect environment again. So the pollution will lessen a little bit.
Those responsible. Business has profited greatly from treating the environment as a free good, but consumers have paid lower cost for products. Some would blame consumers, not businesses, for pollution because they create demand of products for production impairs the environment. But this argument fails to recognize the deep-rooted cause of pollution, the population growth, the increasing urbanization, and rising affluence. Those who would benefit. Critics of this argument point out that every individual, rich or poor, and every institution, large or small, stand to benefit the environmental protection and restoration, although not necessarily to the same degree. The problem, a pollution concern to all of us to a different degree, how would we determine the amount of individuals and companies should pay, based to the degree to which they benefit?
What is environmental ethics? Environmental ethics is a subfield of applied philosophy that investigates the conceptual underpinnings of environmental values as well as more specific issues such as attitude, action, and policies. Why need to study environmental ethics? We need to study environmental ethics to make communities and ecosystem better. Protecting our environment is important resources to the present and future. In addition, environmental ethics can benefit both human and environment. What are the environmental damage produced by the present generation? The environmental damage produced by the present generation are overpopulation, pollution, undrinkable water, and poor air quality. What acts must be given up to slow such damage? Everyone must have discipline to themselves, that they have to dispose their waste properly and to clean their surroundings to make the community better.
Environmental damage is damage or harm done to the environment that threatens the welfare of all living beings. For example, the pollution. Pollution is the undesirable contamination of the government by the manufacture or use of commodities. Pollution is a type of nuisance to pleasure as contamination of air, water, and land diminishes the beneficial qualities. Resource depletion. It refers to the consumption of finite or scarce resources. Depletion of species is the destruction or non-renewal of plants and animals species to the point of extinction. A concern that the fossil fuels are being used up at an increasing rate, that they consume rapidly. If these fossil fuels were to run out now, there will not be suitable replacement for them that is equally as efficient at producing the same amount of energy.
Environmental ethics principle. First, we should have a profound respect for our nature. Second, we must maintain a harmonious relationship with other species. Third, everyone should take responsibility for its impact on nature. And for understanding social responsibility means that individual and company have a duty to act in the best interest of their environment and a society as a whole. Social responsibility as it applies to business is known as corporate social responsibility or CSR.
The Valdez Principles, later called the Ceres Principles. A massive oil spill occurred, spilling 11 million gallons of oil by the oil tanker Exxon Valdez that is run aground in Prince William Sound in Alaska, way back 1989 of March 24. The Valdez Principles drawn up 1989 after the Exxon Valdez oil tanker disaster, developed by the Coalition for Environmentally Responsible Economics, or CERES. The Valdez Principles support a wide range of environmental issues. One of its objectives is to protect the biosphere and to encourage industries to minimize or eliminate the emissions of the pollutants, protecting biodiversity and ensuring the sustainable development of the natural resource is where the principles are devoted to. It also advocates the reduction of disposal waste by the use of recycling and also encourage the use of sustainable energy resources. Valdez Principles is to regulate and monitor the corporation conduct in matters relating to the environment, carrying a goal to the reward the behavior that was environmentally sound and punish behavior that was not, by investing funds controlled by the CERES members and also a goal to energy efficiency.